Richie Escalante on the Kawasaki, the standout from MotoAmerica #1, trying to get it done again, and Brandon Posh dialed in. It's time to go racing. Race #1, Supersport, MotoAmerica #2. Revs are up, and here we go.
Great start from Sean Dillon Kelly, Greg. Really good start. I also saw Jason Aguilar from the second row there, who was 4th on the grid. He looked like he got a good jump as well. But it's going to be SDK leading him down into turn 1 with Escalante right behind him. Brandon trying to sneak up. Yep, Brandon Posh sneaks up the inside of Aguilar. So those top 3 guys that we saw last the beginning of the month here in our round 1 have kind of found their way back to the front. Nate Minster trying to go around the outside. Looked at Almeida trying to go down the inside of people. So everybody's trying to shuffle around to get up to that lead group. There's even Lucas Silva there. Looks like he's in 6th place, so he's had a good jump. Greg has Lucas Silva from 8th on the grid. So as they run down into turn 5, first lap, looks like Brandon Posh is having a little sneak down the inside, or was thinking about it, but Escalante puts the move on SDK as they roll into 5.
So Richie Escalante on the binders down into turn 5, gets it done. Under the Corvette bridge they go. Sean Dillon Kelly gets it right back. What an aggressive move by SDK.
Well, I think but round 1, Greg, we saw Escalante lead the majority of the laps, and I know that this team, M4X-Star team, and Escalante jumps right back down the inside as they go into turn 8. And this is exactly what SDK wants to do. He wants to try to force Escalante into a mistake, and you can see he fights right back. And look at Brandon Posh now, rolls around the outside of Escalante as well.
What's going to happen into the chicane as they come out of the carousel? Sean Dillon Kelly leads on that M4X-Star Suzuki. And it looks like Brandon Posh has gotten around the Kawasaki.
He did.
Into the chicane they go.
Got to look back to see who's just behind him. Might be Ben Smith.
Escalante up the inside. He'll take over 2nd from Posh. All the while, SDK's having his way as Brandon Posh trying to get this thing sorted out. His qualifying time, Jason, wasn't, it
20.8. He's all right. But now, we know Brandon. He's a racer. Escalante now going back up underneath SDK. So Escalante really wants to lead this race bad as he gets out over the curbing, and there's 6 guys coming up the front straightaway together. This is that pass going into the last corner. You can see Escalante is able to hold a little bit tighter line, which then puts him in a good spot to go up underneath SDK going into that last corner. You can see right now it must be a red flag. Red flag somewhere, Greg, because you can see all these guys. Yeah, we're hearing it's Kevin Almeida.
So red flag situation. Red flag comes out, race stoppage.
That's coming out of the last corner. So this is going to be a big high side coming out of the last corner. Does he get out on the curbing and then have it flick him? Let's see, Greg. We're looking at the bottom of our screen trying to see. Yeah, it had happened earlier. So it's going to be a big high side coming onto the front straightaway. And he was stuck up underneath the motorcycle.
It was. That arm was pinned under there. Look at this. See the very end of this shot as they're coming through that final corner. The bottom part of your screen.
Oh, I can hear it. You can hear the thing.
It just spun up, didn't it?
Yeah. And you can see he was up in it. Yeah, he was stuck up underneath the bike as he went off the track. So that's going to be coming out of the last corner. So red flag now for these guys.
Corner, and there's a look at Kevin. He is up and he's waving, so it looks like he's going to be okay. Boy, the leathers, as we call them, protective suits that all the riders wear. Some armed with actual airbags that are built into the suit, doing its job and protecting Kevin. Battle of the manufacturers going on right now. Who's going to get the launch? When that light goes off, it's go time. Oh, some wheelies in the back there. Big wheelie from our 2nd place qualifier, Escalante. He's going to lose a little bit of ground, the 54, so it's going to be Sean Dillon Kelly peeling off into turn 1 first. And another good launch from Brandon Posh. And we get to see the legs stretch out on the straightaway up. Oh, it looked like for a moment Escalante was trying to sneak up the inside. Sean Dillon Kelly using some body English to get his Suzuki turned. Here's the draft and pass maneuver. Escalante pulls out to the left on the front straightaway. Posh trying to get a double draft. But SDK and that GSXR 600 has got a lot of motor. They fan 3 wide as they head into turn number 1. Who's going to have the advantage? It's Sean Dillon Kelly, Escalante, and then Posh.
And Brandon's going to do a job here to just try to hang on to the back of these guys. And what it should do is it should pull him away from the others as Jason Aguilar runs it deep into turn 3
of Nate Minster. It didn't look like he's got a lot of confidence in the front end. And pass for the lead goes Sean Dillon Kelly again. M4X-Star Suzuki. SDK not playing around, feeling healthy now.
Yeah, and exactly right. And he must have been able to just draft, get into the back of those guys, get into the back of Escalante's draft, and go by him and pull out as they went down into turn 5. And he was able to pull the brake lever on hard enough to make the corner. Here comes Escalante again. Both these guys moving around a lot under heavy braking. So here you go, Greg. This is down into turn 5. Something we've seen a lot. Escalante is over on the right side of the screen, and Sean Dylan Kelly is able to go up underneath him.
That's the way you do it into turn 5. It's just to hold the breath and grab the brake lever later than the rider next to you.
And you can see here's our 2 leaders coming into the last corner. See how SDK kind of closed off that inside a little, didn't give Richie an opportunity to look up the inside. Now let's see if he's able to just draft right back by.
The Suzuki's been pretty tough on the top end. The Kawasaki we know is mean there, but side by side they go into turn number 1. SDK is going to have the line, but it's Escalante. Got a bike length and a half around SDK. So he'll take the spot for the moment.
And you can see, I've noticed him a few times this week oh man, he is so close to the grass there. I mean, that is close to big disaster there. That's a matter of not even inches. So yeah, he's got to just be a little bit careful there.
Look over the shoulder to see what's going on.
Yep, so Benjamin sees that Nate's there, and now when he sees the +1 on his board that probably Benjamin's dad's putting out for him.
So Richie Escalante showed up here a month ago on a Kawasaki, the Honos Kawasaki, and was able to get his first win in MotoAmerica Supersport competition, and then the next day followed it up by doing the double. Oh, a big bobble there. Boy,
and he's wide. I mean,
my heart skipped, but he gets it through the final corner. So now it's all about the right wrist and that motor of the Kawasaki ZX6R. Here he comes. Richie Escalante will win 3 in a row at MotoAmerica and take victory in race 1, MotoAmerica 2. Sean Dylan Kelly in for 2nd, Brandon Posh in for 3rd.
There goes Aguilar through, and who's going to get this battle? Nate Minster's doing everything he can to get in the draft of Benjamin Smith right now. He's going to get to pull out, maybe, Greg. Let's see.
Does he time it right, the 99? And no, he doesn't. And final results for race number 1, Richie Escalante. He'll log 3.6 second margin of victory. Brandon Posh in 3rd with Aguilar, and then that great battle between Ben Smith and Nate Minster. Lucas Silva gets a 7th, Nolan Lampkin in 8th, and Carl Soltis in 9th spot.